Alrighty, my little tater tots, we're going to start talking about dividing fractions today. First, we're going to start off with reciprocals. That's a funny sounding word, right? It is. All right. What I want you to do is copy down this word problem real quick into your notes, fresh, clean page in your notes book, and go ahead and pause the video so you can copy it down. Okay, so hopefully you just came back. I know you guys think I'm crazy. All right, let's look at this word problem together. We have 6 chocolate bars, and we all want to share. You say 1/2 of a bar is not enough, and I say a whole bar is too much. So we settle on 2/3 of a bar each. How many 2/3 are in 6 bars? All right, so here's how we're going to work this out first. First, let's draw 6 chocolate bars. Again, not an artist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we said we were going to split them into 2/3. So that means each chocolate bar has 3 parts. All right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, let's check it by coloring them in. Okay, so we have to figure out how many 2/3. So let's go. This is 1/3, 2/3. So that's 1. This is 1/3. And I have to go to the next bar. 2/3. That's 2. 1/3. 2/3. That's 3. 1/3. 2/3. That's 4. 1/3. And I got to go to the next bar. 2/3. That's 5. 1/3. 2/3. 6. 1/3. 2/3. 7. 1/3. 2/3. 8. And 1/3. 2/3. 9. And I've gotten to the end. So that means my answer is 9. Okay. So what did we do here? When you look at this, think about it for a second. What did we do? Well, we grouped parts, right? And when we group, we are, hopefully you're all saying it, dividing. So essentially, we could also write 6 divided by 2/3 equals 9. Dividing with fractions. Look at us. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about fractions and explain a little bit about how they work. First, what I want to do is I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, and I'm going to show you some division problems. Okay, so let's look at 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 1. 8 divided by 1/2. And 8 divided by 1/4. So we went from 4 to 1/4. Okay, and you're going to trust me on this. So 8 divided by 2 equals, 8 divided by 4 equals 2. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 8 divided by 1 equals 8. 8 divided by 1/2 equals 16. And 8 divided by 32, 1/4 equals 32. Okay, so here's a couple of things that I want you to notice. First of all, notice that as my number that I divided by got smaller, my dividend got bigger. So the smaller the number grew, the bigger the dividend was. Okay. Notice that the bigger the denominator is, the smaller the fraction is. Okay, think about a piece of pizza. If I cut a pizza in halves, 1/2, would you rather have 1/2 of a pizza, which is really big, or would you rather have 1/8 of a pizza, which is a small slice? So the bigger the denominator gets, the smaller your fraction gets. Okay, the smaller your piece gets. All right? Okay, now what I want to do really quick is look at multiplication. And this time, we're going to look at 8 times 1/4, 8 times 1/2, 8 times 1, 8 times 2, and 8 times 4. All right. Eight times 1/4 equals 2. 8 times 1/2 equals 4. 8 times 1 equals 8. 8 times 2 equals 16. And 8 times 4 equals 32. So I want you to take a look at this and see, wait a second, how can 8 divided by 4 equal 2? But notice that on the multiplication side, I flipped my list, right? Because 8 divided by 4 is here, but 8 times 4 is here. It's on the bottom. So I flipped my list. How is it possible that the opposite ends of the list work and give you the same answer? How's that possible? What's making that happen? Think about it. Look at it. Try and figure that out. If you need a minute, if you're really thinking about it, pause it. Think about it for a second. Okay? How is it that 8 divided by 1/4 gives you the same answer as 8 times 4. Okay, think about it for a second. Okay, so hopefully you did think about it. And hopefully what you realized was because we flipped it, we're getting the same answer. And flipping it, the flipped part is the part that's called the reciprocal. All right? And so this, I'm gonna prove this to you in a minute, but this is the most important piece of information you're gonna learn from this lesson, and that is dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. And that's our important word right there, reciprocal. Okay, so now let's go back to this one right here. I'm dividing by 4, and I'm multiplying times 1/4. I'm going to take another pen, another color. Okay, and over here, so look, this is a 4, and this is 1/4. But I can make the 4 a fraction by putting it over a 1. And so if you look at 4 over 1 and 1 over 4, they're opposite. They flipped upside down. That's a reciprocal, okay? So over here, we divided by 2, which is really 2 over 1. And then over here, we divided by 1/2. And over here, 1 is its own reciprocal. It doesn't have a reciprocal. It's 1, 1. No matter what you do. 1, 1. You flip it, it's still 1, 1. So it's just 1. Over here, we have 1/2. If I flip it, the reciprocal becomes 2 over 1. So it flipped. It turned upside down. Same thing over here. 1/4. If I flip it, it turns to 4 over 1, which is the same thing as saying 4. Okay, so that's a reciprocal, flipping a fraction upside down, or flipping a number upside down. Okay, so let's continue. Trying to get my paper straight. So something else that's pretty cool about reciprocals is that 2 numbers are reciprocals if their products or product is 1. Okay, well before on the other page, right, I said that 1/2 and 2 were reciprocals, right? Okay, so let's look at that. 1/2 times 2, because I said product, right? If the product of the reciprocal. All right. Well, in order to multiply that, don't I have to put a 1 underneath the 2? And now if I multiply straight across, 1 times 2 equals 2. And 2 times 1 equals 2. And we know we have to simplify that, right? 2 divided into 2 is 1. So 1/2 and 2 are reciprocals. Okay, another piece of important information. I like to put a little star next to important stuff. To find a fraction's reciprocal, flip it. So 3/4 becomes 4/3. And you can check it. Let's check it. 3/4 times 4/3. 3 times 4 equals 12. 4 times 3 equals 12. I have to simplify. 12 into 12 equals 1. So it checks. It works with whole numbers too, just like I showed you before. So if I do 5, the reciprocal is 1/5. Because remember that 5 is over 1. And if I multiply straight across, 5 times 1 is 5. And 1 times 5 is 5. 5 divided into 5 equals 1. So that checks. So those are reciprocals. All right, I know right now you're probably saying, why are we doing all this multiplying if we're going to be talking about dividing? Trust me, it's all going to work out tomorrow, but for now we're going to practice finding our reciprocals. So this is what I want you to do. You are going to find your reciprocals. Number 1, 3/5. Number 2, 9/5. Number 3, 2. Number 4, 3/4. Number 5, 5. Number 6, 7/2. And number 7, 4/9. Okay. Pause the video if you need to. Write all of those down. And tomorrow, when I see you again for either my live lesson or my video lesson, we are going to solve those really quick, and then we're going to dive deeper into how to divide fractions. Today, we just have a video, but tomorrow we either will be video or live, okay? All right, bye guys.